What's up, YouTube? So, today's topic, I'm going to talk about the reasons why I hate this human existence, the reason why I hate this world, and the reasons why I don't like this human experience. And I don't like this world, and I don't like this, and I don't like Earth. So, let's get to it. So, first, money corruption. So, living in this world, we're forced to do things. We're forced to do things we don't want to do. We're forced to be around people we don't want to be around with, all because of money. A lot of people are miserable. A lot of people are insane, are going insane because of money. We have a lot of mental health issues. A lot of people are going crazy. A lot of crimes because of money. You can't travel around the world without money. You can't meet the types of people you want to meet without money. You can't have the type of foods, shelter, water, clothing, basic human needs to survive without money. Last time I checked, food and water was for free, but we can't do it because of money. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with the money system. The only problem with money is that there's a huge imbalance. And since there's a huge imbalance, more than likely is the government's fault or is the people who's controlling this whole money system, they're the problem. There's many conspiracy theories saying that they're known as the Illuminati, the elites, the people in power, the deep state, whatever. And people have been talking about this, but people don't know who exactly they are. But they're known for being corrupt. And it's been going on thousands of years. And that's the reason why I hate this human experience. People are stressed. At the end of the day, we're all trying to live the type of lives we want to live, so we could live in abundance. So we could live life on our own terms. We're not forced to work for someone else's schedule. We're not forced to be told what to do when we don't feel like it. A lot of people have to sacrifice their time, energy, their health, even for money. People work at these jobs, they get less sleep, they're overworked, they work these 9 to 5 jobs, they're overworked and underpaid. And the thing, this money system, it could be a great thing, it could be a good thing depending on how people use the money system, but people aren't using the money system in the right way. And when I'm talking about the people, I'm talking about the government power, or I don't like saying government because I don't know who runs this system. I don't know who's responsible for making this world so evil and corrupt. But without a doubt, I personally believe there are a group of people who, or like a group of bloodlines who's responsible for allowing so much evil to take place in this world, right? These are the people I'm talking to. I'm just gonna call them the Illuminati or the elites, pretty much, or the deep state, you know. But but yeah, there's a lot of wars. There's a lot of battles. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of killings, all because of money. We still have homeless people. How? Tell me why we're like, we live in a world, right, where money exists, right, but yet we still have homeless people. We still have people who are in poverty, people who have bad hygiene, people who are sick, and they can't afford to take care of themselves because of money. Going to the hospital, if your car crashes, if you're sick, in order for you to get checked up and to get treated properly, you need money. So you even gotta pay. People, you even gotta pay to die. When you die, when people want to go to their funeral, you gotta pay money for that. Everything revolves around money. And in order for us to make decent amounts of money, we gotta be slaves. And there's a huge issue with that. You can work at the shittiest job and make, and you can barely make ends meet. And there's other people who get lucky and they win a lottery and they're set for life. So it's just stupid shit like that where like money has no real value. Water costs water costs $2, but candy costs $1. The shit that has a lot of value shouldn't. Tell me why. Like you have you have shoes like you have Michael Jordan shoes. You have these famous athletes' shoes, right? And they cost like $500 to 1,000. What the fuck? That makes no sense. Why are shoes cost that much? It's just fucking shoes. But yeah, we have other brand of shoes. They cost like under 30, under $20, right? So what's the fucking difference? There's no difference. At the end of the day, you both gotta. At the main purpose of these shoes is to wear them on your feet so your feet won't get damaged, right? But the reason why it costs so much money is because people put value on it. And shit like this dictates people's lives. People die over this shit. People's lives are at stake because of shit like this. Look at the housing. Look at the cars. People can't go to work or they can't go from point A to point B. They can't live life because they need a car. But cars are so expensive. But yet, why can't cars cost under $100? And I'm talking about the price where you can fit to people's minimum wage. How do I word this? The government or these elites, they know people work at these 9 to 5 minimum wage jobs, right? The average minimum wage is like $15 to $30 an hour, right? So why are these cars so expensive? And then you gotta pay for car insurance. If you get a flat tire, you gotta pay for that. All this bullshit, right? And then if you have your own house, you gotta pay for the electricity bill. You gotta pay for the water bill. All this weird shit, right? And then you gotta pay for food and water. And then but like, it says the government knows all this shit costs a lot of money. Why the fuck? Like, why the fuck does the government or these elites who control the system make certain shit less expensive? Because since they're aware that people aren't making as much money as they're providing value. Why they're charging so much money? For example, you have school and college. Why the fuck are high schools free, but yet college you gotta pay for that shit? Isn't high school college, they both provide education? If education is so important, why does it cost so much money? Damn, man, like you should if you really think about. I understand all the stuff I'm talking about. Like, is not like rocket science. Everyone knows this, but it's just weird, man. This world is. See, I'm not even. This is gonna be a long video. I'm not even done with this video. I might cut it short because I'm tired. I just came back from a nap, but because I'm forced to do something I don't want to do, and I'm procrastinating. But if college and education is so important, right? If it's really important, why does it cost $1,000 for these university classes? Why do you gotta pay for classes? I understand we get financial aid, but some people can't afford financial aid. Some people can't afford scholarships like that. I'm in the military, right? So I'm taking tuition assistance, which is free college, right? Or some people use the GI Bill if you're in the military. But while you're active duty, if you withdraw your classes or if you fail your classes, they charge you. That means you got to pay it back. And these classes cost $900 to $1,000. So imagine I don't know if I do my schoolwork because maybe I'm got to take care of my personal business or I'm dealing with like mental health issues, right? If I don't pass my classes or if I don't turn my assignments in on time or if I decide to withdraw because maybe it's not for me, I got to pay it back, which is $1,000. And last time I checked, school is about education, right? Education so we can learn, right? According to the system, though, it's not. This is why school is such a huge scam. These schools and these colleges, they don't care about learning or teaching their students. They draw fear into students. It's an algorithm. It's a systematic fucking system to where like people are forced to be slaves. And yes, man, they've all followed the script. School has no real value. All the shit school offers, we could learn that shit on YouTube for free. And school's still outdated. It's still outdated. Whenever I take college classes, it causes nothing but stress, sadness, worry, anxiety, and fucking like fear, pretty much, and anger. Because don't teach anything. I love learning shit on my own, but when it comes to education and shit like that, I don't like learning. I mean, when it comes to the school system, I don't like participating in it. This is why I'm taking a break from college because I'm so over it, man. I don't want to be forced to learn something I don't want to learn, and then if I don't get a certain grade, then I'm forced to pay out of pocket. Fuck all that, man. I rather self-educate myself because I love learning. I rather learn on myself on my own terms for free. That's actually valuable and shit, right? But like I said, this whole system is run on money. I'm not saying money is a bad thing or evil thing, but it's how the people controlling the money, that's a problem. Supposedly, according to other YouTubers, we have a lot more advanced technology and a lot more other shit, but the deep state of the government, they decide to withhold that shit. And then you got time speeding up. You got the days going by a lot faster. You got the hours going by a lot faster. You got the minutes going by faster. The days, the weekends, the weekdays is accelerating extremely fast. So the days are going by a lot faster. So the things we need to take care of for our 9 to 5 jobs, for our career settings, we don't even have time to do that because the days go by a lot faster. Now imagine people with families and as an adult, even as kids and teens, because they all go to school. They gotta participate in after school sports and activities, and they gotta do homework, and then they're forced to fucking sleep at a certain time just so they could go to school and learn some bullshit, right? Now, so we're all busy, but like this whole system was run on work and shit and enslavement, right? So like, since the days and time is speeding up extremely fast, so we don't have time to be doing any of that shit as compared to decades ago, right? People like me who have a lot of hobbies who enjoy what we do, we don't even have time to enjoy our life or to complete our hobbies because the days go by a lot faster. And since the days are going by a lot faster, we're forced to focus on work, school, and shit like that. We can't even have fun like that. I mean, you can, but you're gonna be so much stress. Now, imagine having a family. Imagine having multiple family members where like you can't even spend time with your kids as much because the days go by a lot faster because your kids got school, you got work, and then once you come back home from work, you got to shower, you got to eat, you got to take care of yourself, you got to clean your house, you got to take care, you got to run your errands, and you barely have time to spend time with the kids because the days go by a lot faster. Time is speeding up so fast. So it was like, what the hell? People are getting less sleep. People are eating less because the days are going by a lot faster. Um, but yeah, that's the reason why I hate this world. I hate this society. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I do have things I look forward to. I do things I love, but at the same time, it's hard to enjoy life sometimes because there's so much corruption, there's so much restrictions, and like the days are going by a lot faster. And this shit really it pisses me off so much. I'm very vivid. I know how time was like before 2023. I know how the days were like in the early 2000s. I know how time was like. Time wasn't like this at all. Time used to be a lot slower. We used to have more time to enjoy ourselves and be outside and shit. Now we don't have time to do that. Life feels like a dream in a way, but um, and then supposedly we got chemtrails, we got our food's getting poisoned with all these GMOs, all these pesticides. Um, Animals get abused, they get tortured just so people could eat them and shit like that. Or like, no, it's not even that. It's just the animal industry is corrupt. There's nothing wrong with eating meat and all this other shit, but it's how people treat animals in order for them to die and shit. They got these documentaries of how animals are being treated. They're being abused, they're being attacked heavily, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It said if an animal dies a natural death, why not just, naturally cook it, then provide it to people so they can eat meat? But yet people, they treat these animals so horribly. They abuse them and then they torture them and shit, right? Then like, yeah, but then our food's being poisoned, our water's not even healthy, supposedly. I'm not saying all these are facts. I'm just saying these are conspiracy theories, but I'm just putting it out there. Which I'm not surprised. I personally believe in it. You don't have to believe in it. So there's fluoride in the water. There's our tap water is unhealthy. There's a lot of crazy shit like that, right? Um, and the scientific facts that it could damage the human mind, especially these chemtrails, and they've been going on for like thousands or like at least hundreds of years. Um, it's crazy, man. You have innocent people who go to jail and prison by accident for crimes they didn't even commit, but yet they don't have enough money to hire a proper lawyer, so like now they're forced to be in jail and prison and shit like that. And isn't it crazy? So you have a psychopath creating crimes, right? And no, erase that. Just the fact that we have bail money. How the hell do you have bail money like to bail people out? Last time I checked, isn't the purpose of jails and prison systems meant to like keep criminals from like doing bad shit? Yet they still get bailed out because of money. And I'm not saying I agree with the jail systems or the prison systems to hold them captive, but I'm saying like, why the fuck money is the answer for them to set them free? You know how stupid that is. So that's why I'm saying this world is it like the more you actually think about it, the more if you look at this world from a logical standpoint, you could tell that it's a fucking game. It's a pathetic fucking game that we're all enslaved pretty much. It's ridiculous. People got to work their whole lives just so, and people got to go through all this stress, all this worry, just so they can make enough money in hopes they could live the types of lives they want to live, with as much freedom as much as possible, doing what they love. You know, this is why when people work, they always talk about retirement. They always talk about saving up. You know what I'm saying? So in hopes one day they could live the types of lives they want to live, which is later in life. And I understand. I'm not saying this world is so bad like that, because if you love what you do, if you love your passion, and if that requires like a business or working at your 9 to 5, then that's a good thing. But I'm just saying, as a whole, I'm just talking about the regulations and the rules of the system of this world. People rob banks, people steal, people commit like fraud, and they get away with it. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because since the system is so corrupt, why can't people also do corrupt shit? We're just fighting back with the system, right? You know what I'm saying? But and I got these from other YouTubers as well, and they got a good point. You know, but there's so much confusion out there. There's so much manipulations out there. Even like with these commercials, with these TV shows, there's a lot of symbolic shit that kind of programs the children. I don't want to get too much into the details. It's kind of graphic, but like there's so much like sexual like symbols, or like evil ass symbols like Pizzagate, or just or like there's a lot of sexual symbols, and I see this shit in like kids cartoon shows, and like in these commercials. It's disturbing, man. Even growing up, and it's all over YouTube, it's all over social media. Like people talk about shit like this, where like these commercials, these cartoon shows, like they sexualize each and every like fucking commercial, or each and every fucking cartoon scene, or a movie scene. And now that I'm older, I can see that shit. It's like, it's weird. But yeah, our school system is definitely corrupt. Our college and universities is a scam, because they charge you so much money just so you can learn outdated bullshit. All the shit you learn in school, you can learn that shit on YouTube and other sources for free, and it's still outdated. These universities, right? It's fucking dumb. Everything revolves around money. There's nothing wrong with money. It's just how people behind the scenes is how they control the money. That's the problem, you know. Now supposedly they have a lot more advanced technology, a lot more advanced like information that they hide from the collective. And it's just weird too, knowing, observing humanity. Like, isn't it crazy how like we have a huge history of like just the fact that we have shit like World War I, World War II, all these battles and all these wars taking place, all these protests and shit like that, and like why, like, and it's still going on today. You see the situation with like Ukraine and Russia, and there's other rumors about wars popping off. So it's so weird. Like, this world is weird. Like, why is this world so out of order? I feel like people don't talk about this much. I mean, I think well, obviously I'm aware. A lot of people, all things I'm talking about, all the people know this. They're aware of this. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, there's nothing we can really do about it. I mean, we could spread the information, but I don't know. It's just weird. This world is very weird, especially time speeding up. What the fuck, you know? But and then you have people, they talk about spiritual warfare. People with psychic abilities, they talk about like generational curses. They talk about demonic entities, the lower vibrational entities. People talk about, again, they talk about spiritual warfare. Like, people are getting attacked, people get gang stalked, people got to cut off family members because they're dealing with a lot of abusive family members and situations like that. People see repeated numbers. This is weird. And then like you got astrology, you got these all these full moon cycles, astrological influences, these Mercury in retrogrades. And I believe in astrology. I believe in the new age spirituality, because all that, like, for example, it's a lot to explain. This is gonna be a long video. But for example, like right now we're having a Saturn in Pisces, and some people mention that like since Saturn's in Pisces, a lot of things are going to act up in these oceans, in these waters, in these oceans in these seas, right? And now look, you see like shark attacks, you see whales attacking, you see like the submarine situation, you see fucking all this crazy shit, right? So now I seen a source where people talk about from other YouTubers also mentioned that like we're gonna have the metaverse. Shout out to Chauncey one because he mentioned that like the as the years go by, they're gonna the government or like someone behind the scenes they're gonna create a metaverse. It's gonna be like the new system, a lot more technology, like a lot of more advanced technology is gonna cover up reality. Like there's gonna be a lot more virtual reality as the years go by and shit. So like if let's say if it is true, hopefully it won't get too bad because you know it's always good to still go outside. It's always good to put yourself out there. This is good, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I'm just usually like with like me, I'll do a lot of research and I do it for fun. Like I love researching. I love watching spiritual videos. I love watching videos of what's taking place in this world in this society, especially like spiritual videos. And I like to observe and I kind of put everything to my own conclusion, and then I'll make videos about it pretty much. Sometimes, not all the time, but like I'll observe a lot of spiritual channels, a lot of spiritual videos, like tarot readers, people talk about generational curses, money corruption, astrology, time speeding up, conspiracy theories. I'll observe and I'll study all that, right? And I'll come up with my own conclusion, and I'll explain all that shit in my own words to where I can understand and explain. Then again, I'll come up with my own conclusion, and then I'll make YouTube videos sometimes explaining this shit, right? But yeah, this world is weird. This is weird, man. It's crazy how much money controls us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much stress and worry. We're forced to do things we don't want to do because of money. This world's so stressful, right? Someone mentioned, I think Chauncey one. He mentioned that like, supposedly like, the government or people behind the scenes they actually have a lot of advanced technology and computer systems to where like all this like all the things people are working with these 9 to 5 jobs, all that could be replaced by advanced machines, advanced computer systems, advanced technology to where like people don't have to work these jobs anymore. You know what I'm saying? But yet the government or people behind the scenes they hide that shit from the collective because they want people to be slaves and shit, right? And he mentioned something like that, and so shout out to him. You know, but it's just like I personally believe that's true, and even if it's not true, yeah, no, it is true because like look at the type of technology we have. People have been reported of seeing the UFOs, unidentified space or people have been spotting UFOs every fucking year, right? Like a lot of them. In my opinion, it's secret technology from the government. That's my opinion. So if the government has that much advanced technology, why can't the government use advanced technologies, computer systems, to replace all the jobs for what people are working at, so people don't have to be overworked and underpaid and be slaves to these work situations where they're forced to be here and they don't want to be here. Why can't all this advanced technology, all these computer systems, why can't it replace all that shit? So that way people don't have to work as much. Why can't it be like that? So we can replace all these jobs and shit, and this system is gonna run a lot more smoother, right? But it can. The government doesn't do that either because the government's corrupt, evil, or they want to do certain shit in their own terms, and it's gonna cause a lot of people's sufferings. Not the main reasons why there's so much domestic violence, divorces, broken families, damaged people is because of money. Because we're not living life. Everyone's trying to survive. So everything revolves around money. We're all trying to survive. We're not living life. A lot of family fights, a lot of friendship fights, a lot of breakups all happen because of money. You see how females and men treat each other? You can't even take a woman out on a date without money. You can't drive a car without money. Everything revolves around money, and there's nothing wrong with the money system. There's a huge imbalance within the money system. That's the fucking problem. Um, and these schools are so useless too. Schools, they don't teach us useful information. They teach us a bunch of bullshit. They don't teach us how this world operates. They don't teach us about the corruptions of this world. They don't teach us about human history of what actually took place. They don't talk about emotional intelligence. Schools don't talk about the importance of mental health. Schools don't talk about how to manage your finances or world corruption with finances. School don't teach about spirituality. School don't teach about astrological teachings and shit like that. And so they teach the same shit that's been going on for over thousands of years. The same bullshit. And then they wonder why, how come kids don't like going to school, or how come kids are so fed up. And now these days you see kids fighting with teachers and shit. Maybe because they don't want to fucking be here, because they have better shit to do. Yet they're forced to be at an outdated education system, to where like they're forced to pass certain tests and assignments and all this weird shit at certain times, and if they don't do it, they get a bad grade, and now they're forced to retake these classes, or like they're forced to not be productive with society because it requires a bullshit certificate of a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? Stupid, man. But all the things that I learned, such as health, spirituality, mental health, taking care of my body, taking care of my skin, just how this world operates, all off of YouTube. School didn't teach me any of that shit. And these parents, and I'm not saying all parents, but most parents, they do a very poor job of guiding their kids to the right direction. They don't know how those, most parents don't know how this world operates. They don't know how to raise their kids right. They don't know how to fucking prepare the kids for the real world, because they're too busy surviving. That's why. And the system does a very good job of not teaching people very useful information. This system and school systems does a very good job of like not giving people proper information, you know. But and it's so hard for the average human, it's so hard for everyone to live life in a wildlife. You can't live the wildlife without technology. If you live in a wildlife without shelter, without food and water, how are you supposed to survive? Some people say they want to live off grid. Some people say they want to live in a jungle or in outside and shit. Well, good luck with that, because you're gonna have to deal with like rain, snow, the hot weather. You gotta deal with like wild animals. How you supposed to take care of yourself? How you supposed to wash your clothes? You're gonna get sick. You're gonna be filled with like bacteria. You gotta wipe your own ass and just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy for the human body to get sick and to develop diseases and shit. So it's kind of impossible for people to live off grid and shit. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like schools have a lot of potential to like. I feel like schools have a lot of potential to like teach people how to create their own house. Schools have a lot of potential to set kids up for future success, but schools refuse to do it because of the elites or the government or the Illuminati who controls the system behind the scenes. They prevent that shit from happening. Schools don't teach people how to build their own house. Schools don't teach people how to drive their own car. Schools don't teach people, like I said in my previous video, they don't know how to prepare them for finances. They don't teach them how corrupt this world is. They don't teach them how to take care of themselves financially, physically. They don't teach them how to like live life on their own terms. They don't teach them how to create their own land and shit like that. You know, but they don't teach them how to survive, pretty much. You know, a lot of people waste so much years in these high schools because all these years, these high schools, these middle schools, these preschools, these kindergarten schools waste on average human. They could be teaching them useful information like how to build your own house, how to manage your finances, how corrupt this world is, how to survive, how to take care of your mental and physical health and shit like that. Spiritual practices and astrological practices, and how to follow your own heart and how to fight for what you believe in, you know. But and also how to have morals and integrity. But school kind of teaches that. Nah, it doesn't really teach you how to have morals and integrity. More so, school really teach kids how to be obedient to shit they can't even fathom or understand, and that's dangerous in my opinion. I mean, it go both ways and shit. But This is why people are so oblivious to how evil this world is, because schools teach them at a young age how to be obedient for things they can't fathom or comprehend or understand and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a reason why you have to be obedient or shit like that. You're not gonna be obedient or like be submissive to a fucking corrupt evil person or to a government. If someone were to kidnap you and abuse you, are you gonna be obedient to that person? No, you're not. You're gonna fight back. You're gonna try and find ways to free yourself or to get away or to seek help for you so you can get away from that person so you can be safe. But schools don't teach that shit. Kinda, but not really. Um, but yeah, man, this world is weird. Me, I like my life. Um, I'm partaking in things I like. I love my career. I love what I do, but it's just like, I'm just saying, like, the type of bullshit I gotta deal with sometimes, or like not even that, but like I be observing other people and shit. And like I be feeling bad for people because I be observing how they live their lives, and like people don't deserve to be going through the shit they're going through. There's something off about this system, man. There's a lot of things. This system is very evil. We live in a very evil world. We live in a very evil world that's so confusing because people don't know why time is speeding up. People don't know what's taking. People don't even know what's taking place in human history. There's a lot of spiritual information out there that people don't know is real. Some people believe in reincarnation. Some people believe in spirits. You know, all this shit taking place. Um, the shit that's going on in these waters, in these oceans. If past lives and if reincarnation is a real thing, how come? How come a lot of people do, and I believe in reincarnation. I believe in past lives, but like, how come like people don't have a how come people can't like how come people don't remember their past lives? How come people can't remember or comprehend their ancestral bloodlines or like how life was like in afterlife before they reincarnated here? How come people can't remember that shit? Some people, according to conspiracy theories, these YouTubers mention because when you're a baby, when you're injected with the vaccines, it causes you to lose your past life memories and shit like that. There's all these documentaries of like people who were born without the hospitals, people who were born in their homes and shit, without the vaccines, they tend to remember their past lives and shit. And there's documentaries about that, which I find very interesting. I'm not saying it is right or wrong, but it's something to think about or to look at, you know? We have people in here who have certain spiritual gifts. Some people have a lot more spiritual gifts than the average person. Some people have unique spiritual gifts. Some people are clairsentient. There's other words, I forgot what's it called, but some people can see spirits. Some people could like talk to spirits. Some people could see things before they happen. Some people can also like, and some people are sensitive to energy like that. You know what I'm saying? So, look at tarot readers. You have a lot of tarot readers. You know what I'm saying? So people, everyone has different types of psychic abilities. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I wonder how life is like after you die, after you pass away. Obviously, no one wants to feel pain when they're in the process of dying, but like I wonder how life is. I'm very interested. And no, I'm not saying no like. I hope I'm not coming across as like suicide or anything. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying like it's very interesting knowing that like when you're about to die, right? What's next? What's out there? Is there an afterlife? Do you reincarnate, or is that it? Me, a person, I believe there's an afterlife. I have an open mind. I personally believe you get to experience different lives after you pass away and shit, right? So I find that very interesting. And if you really think about it, it's crazy how short the human lifespan is. So the average human being, they'll pass away like between the ages of 60 to 100 years old on average, right? That's very short, you know? So if you're watching this video, if you're forced to do things you don't want to do, you keep your head up, because life is short. And since life is short, you might as well take risks. You might as well follow your heart. Even if you make mistakes, even if you slip up, just the fact that you were able to step out of your comfort zone, just the fact that you're following your heart, that in itself is rewarding because you're willing to try new things. And that's a good thing. I feel like part of life is to fight for what you believe in, try new things, get off your comfort zone, and do whatever you could do to help yourself, expand your horizons, gain experiences, and help yourself out and help this world out and help the people around you out as well. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot more things I want to mention too, but I'm kind of tired. But yeah, man, this is weird. Like, it's weird how like time's been speeding up every single day. Schools are so fucking useless. We're forced to do things. We're forced to be around people. We're forced to sacrifice our mental health, our physical health, our time and energy just for we can work out a bullshit job just so we can make ends meet, just so we can survive because of paper money, because we live in a corrupt system to where like we're forced to do shit like that. A lot of people do shit they rather not do because of money, because they're trying to survive. Money has a lot of influence in the human collective, and I don't blame them because we need money to survive. Money is the reason why people die, people go to war, there's battles and shit, there's suffering and shit. And money is also responsible for people's happiness. It changes lives. So it's a double-edged sword, but without a doubt, the money system is restricted and it is corrupt. And that's a huge problem with that. It's a huge fucking problem. That's been going on for a long time. There's a lot of information that's being kept from us that we know nothing about that we need answers to. A lot of information is coming to the surface, like spirituality, astrology, and shit like that. And time's speeding up as well. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to be careful of what types of information you find, because just because information is out there, especially since we have access to the internet, people could be dishing out false information to manipulate the human mind and to program humans and shit, right? So you got to be very mindful of that. Other YouTubers talk about that as well. The government or the deep state or people behind the scenes, they are known for tricking the collective, tricking humanity, tricking people by giving them false information. This is why you look at the presidency. See how much of a scam that is? See how much of a scam the news is? Despite all the crazy shit that goes on, yet the news dishes out some bullshit that's fucking useless. Look at our president, Joe Biden. Why is he so old? We have an old ass president. Why is he our president? Yeah, you have better presidents like President Trump or some other presidents, but yet they choose the same fucking people. And it's not even about that. It's more so about like, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of corruption that's taking place. Supposedly COVID-19 was a scam. Supposedly, I'm not saying COVID-19 was a real or a scam. I'm just saying there are conspiracy theories about it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of information is being manipulated for a certain agenda. But hopefully time will tell. Hopefully before I die, things will get exposed. But without a doubt, we can all agree that like we live in a corrupt system and a lot of things need changes. But it does get annoying or like we're forced to deal with this shit. This is why I hate this human experience. It has a lot of potential, but it's just annoying. And that's all I got to say, and have a good one. Peace.